just like these unbeatable prices at Rural King. Get 4 gallons of Pool Shock liquid chlorinator for just $9.99 a box. Or Taste of the Wild High Prairie grain-free dog food for $49.99 a bag, in-store only. And don't miss out on assorted veggie or herb plants for just $3.99 a piece. Shop these deals and more at RuralKing.com or your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a high of 88 to 92, then becoming mostly cloudy tonight, low 72 to 74. Wednesday will be partly sunny, nice day with a high of 88 to 92, then sun and high clouds Thursday morning, followed by very cloudy skies, and a high of 90 to 92. Watch for a thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots Friday afternoon. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com. That's right. It's In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin every Tuesday at 9 a.m. She's taking your phone calls about your grass, your bushes, your trees, your gardens, your flowers, anything that you can grow in dirt. Carol Ann Baldwin will help you with. It doesn't even have to be in dirt either. If you grow it in water, you can do it hydroponically. She can help you with that too. Carol Ann,
figured out.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
We talked off the air. I won't say on the
right.
air because I don't want to put anybody under any undue
Duress,
pressure. But we've solved the problem with the citrus trees.
Citrus trees,
You know, by the way, thanks for the advice on the Miracle Grow hook up to your water hose deal.
That one, yeah.
Oh, because we had good dirt with the compost, and then we had the black cow.
Right.
But we still needed a little help with the
Just doing something, yeah.
We fertilized it, and we did it actually a little different than you would like.
Right. Yeah.
Because we did it at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh.
I know we had forgot to do it that morning.
Okay.
We'd come back from a place where we may or may not have had some Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Okay.
But it got done at 10 o'clock at night. So the next day, later in that afternoon, on the following, we did it Thursday night. Mm-hmm. Later Friday afternoon, 6:30, we got a rain.
Okay.
So it had a good 18, 20 hours to soak into the dirt and everything. Then we got a rain on Friday night. And Saturday we didn't, because it was rainy off and on. Right,
didn't need to water on.
Right,
Yep.
so Sunday, Susan goes, I don't know it was in that Miracle Grow, but it's like it was steroids. And I went out and looked, and everything looked like it had doubled in size in 3 days.
If it was the all-purpose, because it's a high nitrogen, and high nitrogen makes the plant grow.
Yeah, it was an all-purpose Miracle
I wouldn't
Grow.
use that all the time.
No.
Just
it's
more on, especially on vegetables. It's an on occasion kind of thing because it does not have a high enough center number.
Mm-hmm.
Has a very high first number, something like 27 or 38,
This
high.
one was 27, I think.
Okay, 27, and then the middle number is I think a little bit higher, but not high. It's not higher than that first number. It's the center number that will set your fruit. So if you use all-purpose on any of those liquid type that you can mix in your watering can, put it on your garden hose feeder, whatever you're using.
Yeah, this came already
with
pre-done.
It, right,
You
it's
just hooked
already
it onto the
and
hose.
then you just buy another bag and you dump a bag in
Right.
there and follow directions. But if you continually use just the all-purpose, you will find you have gorgeous plants,
But no
and
fruit.
no fruit.
Yeah.
And possibly no flower.
Well, that's what it said. It
Yeah.
said to
It's an
don't
all-purpose.
use this as a everyday fertilizer.
right.
Thing. And by the way, the vibrant flowers on the cucumbers and the cauliflower, the squash,
yeah.
and the
Yeah.
zucchini,
Yeah, oh yeah.
they look like buttercups
Yeah.
almost.
Oh yeah,
they're
the bright yellow-
fantastic.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. Yeah,
Yeah.
this morning I had all kinds of new flowers on.
And the bell peppers have jumped.
Yeah.
The tomato plant, not only did it jump, but it's flowered.
Good.
And it's got probably right now 25 to 30, because they're just a little
the little cherry tomatoes.
cherry
a little
tomatoes,
pop them in your
right.
mouth as you go.
But there's
Yeah.
probably 25 or 30 green tomatoes
Nice.
that you can see that are green.
Right, that are
coming.
starting. Yeah.
And it just, no more miracle grow because we don't need to.
Right. You could, exactly. You could wait, and really, now that we're almost 1st of June, you might as well say we're at the 1st of June.
Right.
Yeah, you probably really wouldn't want to, use a liquid type after, because if we're lucky, the rainy season will start kicking up here shortly, and that if you did need to, I would probably use something a little more granulated, but you might even be able to keep going, because you were also saying she's making
still doing the compost, yeah.
continued compost holes,
Right.
which will leach into, leach nutrients.
By the way, moving the peace lily into a much bigger pot, it was because it had suffered
from the cold.
The
and
original ball was probably about the size of co-ed softball.
Okay.
That big
big softball. Yeah.
Right. And so when we took it out of the pot and put it back in, it had some green coming back up,
Right,
but it was
right.
probably the
Yeah.
size of a little softball.
Yeah.
She is now probably 2 foot high, filled out nicely and everything in
Right.
this new pot. She's
So she's happy.
She's gonna
Mom's
be
happy.
Mom's gonna be. This pot's gonna make her even that much bigger.
Right, because she has room to put her root
Yeah.
system out and grow. Initially, you may not get a lot of flowers.
No, she
But
hasn't.
that's-
The other peace lily that Susan had
Right.
before we got, it's got 4 flowers on it.
Right,
It's
right.
blooming.
Because
Mom
mom's
ain't blooming
mom's
at all.
got to get settled, and they do prefer to be pot bound. So it might take a little while
Right.
before she blooms. But so long as she's healthy and green, that's
But I
all
think
that matters.
probably 3-4 months from now she'll bloom.
Yeah.
She's still getting her sea
Yeah,
legs.
she's getting her
She's
right.
getting her sea legs.
She's getting her feet back in place, and getting wiggled in.
But
and
I was worried for a minute.
Yeah.
I was concerned because I've had that.
It can do some. Yeah, it can be an issue
that
on
peace
our
lily is
potted.
12 years old.
Yeah.
I mean that's a long time for
Yeah.
a peace lily to.
Well, I've had people. You'd be surprised. 18, 20 years. Where they just keep moving it into a larger pot, and then they're going, I don't have room anymore. It's almost a piece of furniture in their living
Yeah,
room,
right.
at this point. And
Well, the
I
pot
say
we
on
have her
something
in
like
now.
that, when they feel as if that they're not able to care for it anymore, I actually say if they can get with somebody, is to take it out of that pot, divide it down. You've got family members who
Right.
maybe would like a piece of that plant that came from Grandpa's
Right.
passing. You can take and divide that in and start back over into a smaller pot, and you still have the
She
same plant.
right now the pot she's in 16 across.
Okay,
16
so she's
diamonds.
big
pot.
big. Yeah, that is a
She
big
went
one.
from 10 to a 16.
To a 16. Yeah, so she's gonna live in
She'll
there
be
for
in there
a
for a while.
Yeah, for a while.
Because she was in that 10. She went from a 4 to a 10.
10.
And she was in that 10 till this year. Now she went from 10 to a 16.
Yeah.
And believe me, I've already contemplated, they sell 30s.
Yes, they do. 20 might be the next step.
20, 24,
would be
something right around there. Yeah. But so I got her all the way till I get to 30.
Yeah.
And Susan's already said that, we have a
hand dolly?
A hand dolly.
Yeah.
She goes, well, that's how we'll move her in and out of the
Oh,
garage
yeah,
now in
yeah.
the wintertime.
Yep.
Because there's no picking her up.
No,
There's
no,
no
it's
picking her up.
it's too heavy now. And actually, if you found down the road that it got way too large, it might be one of those kind of things to go taking a piece off so that you can start again in
Certainly.
a small pot, put her in the ground, and get one of those giant 26-gallon pots that you would be able to cover her with.
Right.
In the wintertime, to where it won't touch, and then you could actually even throw an extra quilt or something like that over top.
Certainly. 622-9622 is the number to call. 352-622-9622 if you have any questions for Carol Ann about your garden, your grass, your flower beds, any of your trees. Don't prune your trees now, folks. Let's just answer that question
Well,
right
I
away.
mean, but you know what? We've got hurricane season coming
do have
up. If
hurricane
you've got
season,
some thinning out to do and things like that, or if they're right now, you want to trim up the hedges. We're looking out the window, and those things are 4 inches taller than they were last Tuesday.
You should see the ones on the side door, out on the side door. Did I come in every morning?
They only do the front. They're out
the
there
one
now.
on the side door, I walked up today, I go,
It's coming to get you.
I'm like, the Yeti has turned green, and it's outside here.
coming
Those
to get
bushes, it's the same bushes as these.
Right.
They're every bit of 8 to 10 foot tall on
Yeah.
the side of this building.
Well, because that's probably no window. There's no windows on that side.
right.
So yeah, it's just sort of. It helps to keep the building cool.
I'm sure.
Yeah. That's
Sure.
how we
Well,
plant things.
they got to cut these. I can't
They
see real well.
really do. Yeah, it's getting hard to. Yeah.
Natalie, the intern,
Yeah.
go cut the bushes.
I'll get the guys out. They're out front.
Oh, are they out front
They're
now?
out front. Yeah, they're out front. I don't think they know how to walk around the back of the building.
No, I don't think so.
It's too long, too far.
We got to take a break. More after this timeout with Carol Ann Baldwin on In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show, too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Started in 1975. It's Yendel's Building Materials. Whether you're making repairs, adding a room, or building a house, Yendel's constantly delivers excellent service and top quality materials and many of the tools and hardware you need to get the job done. At Yendel's, they take pride in supplying their customers with new and innovative products. Yendel's experience in truss design, manufacturing, and component materials is second to none. 834 North Magnolia Avenue in Ocala, 732-3000. Stop by to experience the difference.
QC Kinetics patient Robert Patterson, a veteran and business owner, struggled at work and in the gym with chronic agonizing shoulder pain.
Those injuries just continue to nag, and if you don't treat them, they just get worse. And I just kind of abused my body for a long time, and it finally had said enough is enough.
That's okay, because QC Kinetics tells your pain, hey, enough is enough. Their regenerative treatments bring you relief by helping restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no downtime, and best of all, no surgery.
I was able to exceed the goals that I had previously attained in the gym. It was absolutely worth its weight in gold, so I could continue to live life without limitation.
Ready to get lasting relief from your joint pain? Call QC Kinetics to learn more about how natural biologic treatments can get you lasting results. Call now. It's a free consultation.
352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550.
Hey, have you gotten your share of the 70th anniversary sale prices at Baldwin's Camellia Gardens yet? Well, if not, you need to get there while selections are best. The emphasis is on 7, as in 70 years. So listen, get Botswood 2 for $7. Laura Peplum, $7. Viburnum and Blue My Mind, just $7. Get Blue Pacific Juniper and Black-Eyed Susan, 2 for $7. And check out the BOGOs, buy one, get one free on Bush Daisy, Sun Rosa Ice Plant, Flowering Vines, Milkweed, Formosa Azaleas, all this week at Baldwin's Camellia Gardens. Check out the truckload citrus sale, all your favorites starting at just $69.99. Join the crowd that's celebrating 70 years at Baldwin's Camellia Gardens and Nursery on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. daily till 4:30, Saturdays till 3, keeping you in bloom for 70 years. Bumpin' Brave and Bold, the Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival is back May 17th through the 30th with over 200 shows. This unique cultural experience is held at Lock Haven Park. 2022 brings new and exciting features to the Orlando Fringe. You don't want to miss out. Tickets are available at orlandofringe.org. Again, May 17th through the 30th is the 31st Orlando Fringe, and it's sure to be the best yet. Get your tickets at orlandofringe.org.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Now you've done it.
That's right. It's In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. You can give her a call, 352-622-9622, with any questions you may have. 352-622-9622 is the number to call with any gardening, lawn, flower bed, plants in your house, hanging plants, trees. Pretty much if it grows in dirt or hydroponically, Carol Ann is your go-to for advice. Carol Ann, you know, I have a meeting today. I got my shirt on and
shirt
everything.
On. Yeah.
The Litter Task Force.
Oh. Okay.
Now you because you do a lot of driving between your house and the shop and everything.
Right.
I bet that you've noticed that there's a lot of garbage on our roadways and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when you mow that grass, it gets cut into pieces.
And a place I used to live at, we actually would have to go out and clean up the side of the road before we could mow. If we didn't want to, and it was like, I don't know if people were aiming for our mailbox when they'd throw their fast food bags out and their soda bottles and beer cans and things like that. I mean, there was a convenience store across the street, so we figured there was probably trash from that. But it's like, I keep a little bathroom wastebasket in my car. You know, it has a little liner. If I got stuff, it goes in that. If I get fast food, all the trash goes back in there. And guess what? It can walk in my house or the next place of business I go to usually has a waste can out front. I can put it in there.
I have the same thing in my Cadillac. Yeah. It's called the floorboard.
Mine's actually a can.
And I clean mine out anytime that my wife has to ride somewhere with me.
With it, yeah,
that's time to clean out my floorboard.
Because otherwise you can't put her feet down.
Right.
Yeah.
So I clean my floorboard out about once or twice a week.
Right.
But it's much easier because I do it in my garbage can at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you bring the can out or you bring a bag out.
You wouldn't go throw garbage in your flower bed at home.
No.
You know, you wouldn't let the lawnmower man run over 6 plastic bottles and throw chopped plastic into your flower beds.
Or in the middle of your lawn. Middle of your lawn.
It would hurt your lawn.
Well, it's surely not going to benefit it, that's for sure. But yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, especially when there's been since the 70s and the Native American fellow
beautiful.
And the tear of seeing the polluted rivers. And
Give a hoot, don't pollute. Woodsy owl.
Yeah, exactly. That we've gone through this for generations of people who go, don't throw your trash out. You know, it's simple as that. I mean, and people who, carry their own down to any of the community trash pickup areas, secure your load.
That's a big deal.
That's a big one.
Huge deal.
That's
Securing
a big
your
one.
load.
People go. It's actually illegal to let your trash fall out.
Well, I secure my load when it's garbage, but when it's just rubbish, branches and leaves and no, that's litter too.
Yeah, it's all litter. Make sure either the lid's on your can or lay it down, something like that. Don't throw your trash out.
Good morning, you're on with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We just moved here, from the actual West Coast. Yes,
Wow.
we did. One of those for sure. But you know what? Well, I love the Magnolias. I see them as so huge. And then, well, ours aren't like that. But I want to be sure I'm giving them something so they could get like that. And so, what should I be doing to encourage them?
To encourage them to bloom.
be beautiful?
How big are they?
Well, let's say
did you plant them, or did they come with the house?
Oh, they came with the house.
Okay, they're
about
probably
maybe 7 or 8 feet.
okay. So they're not huge. They're not huge.
No.
Yeah, and the best ones that you'll see blooming are actually out in full sun. I've probably got one that's about, I don't know,
I got
30
one
or
that's 35 feet.
I was going to say 35, 40 feet, and I can't see any of the blooms on mine because the neighborhood is, it's probably too shaded, so all the bloom is at the top, and I can't get far enough away from it to actually see them.
Mine's in full sun, and you can see blooms from the very
all
bottom
all the way
up to the top.
Right. Sometimes it's just a maturity on the tree to get them to really bloom profusely. In the springtime, and I'm talking February to March, you might want to add a bloom booster type fertilizer to the soil within that 2 to 3 feet of the trunk area, right in that area. But right now, I wouldn't be giving it anything. It's a tree that's established into the landscape. It really doesn't need to be fed per se, but to encourage bloom for next year, come February or March, I'd use something like a bloom
And
booster.
she said earlier in the question she would like to know what it takes to get them big like that.
It'll grow. It's just going to grow. It'll happen, and it could be that you have the little gem, which the little gem, though, still has the beautiful, huge saucer flowers. The leaf is a little bit smaller, and the tree is a little smaller. It fits a little more into it, smaller lots and things like that.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm so glad I called you.
Oh, yeah.
They are beautiful, and we love Florida.
Well,
Absolutely.
good. Welcome to Florida.
Oh, you're so kind.
Thank you for the call.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for being a listener. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, that's magnolia trees, you know.
There's
two kinds of trees. Magnolias and dogwoods.
Magnolias are messy in the fact that they have very large leaves, the very large seed pods. You have to clean up those leaves and pods. They don't decompose quickly, but they are gorgeous. That's to me, that's the biggest drawback. And if you have one on the property, you don't want to do. They're one tree that if you change things around their root system, they don't take it very kindly.
And they like being next to trees too.
Well, I don't know so much if they like to be next to trees because they really don't want their root zone disturbed.
Well, ours is surrounded by a hibiscus bush.
Oh, okay.
And it loves the hibiscus.
Well, they're just it's probably just that maybe they might get a little extra water. I don't know,
Who
but
knows?
I've always seen them do just fine without. You don't need to plant, and I wouldn't change the grade around the tree in order to put something in.
You got about 2 minutes. You're on with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Good morning.
Good morning. I have a Austrian pine that I got as a little Christmas tree in a container.
Okay.
I planted it on the slope of my going up to my pool.
Okay.
And it's about 10 foot tall right now. I noticed after winter the edges of the pine needles were brown.
Yep.
Now the top of the pine is starting to turn brown. Is it getting not enough water or?
Well, the in the wintertime it was from cold damage because they do not like Central Florida. They're off the coast of New Zealand is where the Norfolk Island is, and they're very much more a tropical tree. I personally, it's 10 feet tall. That thing can go to 50, 60 feet, and if we have a bad winter, you can lose that tree in one winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's
I don't
what.
mean, if you're gonna have to show me in the break what that pine tree is.
Yeah.
Because that may be the pine tree that I've been wondering what kind of pine tree this is.
And it probably
you see it in
is.
South
You'll
Florida
see them,
all the
yes,
time.
You'll see, and they have the layers. You'll see them. They're soft. They're pretty trees, but they're not.
For years I've wondered what this pine tree was, and if I just found out the answer,
Yeah.
I mean, I won't have anything to worry about now.
And down
for the
in
next,
South Florida, they're actually there for a while. They were working on eradicating them.
Well, there's some beautiful ones down in the Fort Myers, Naples area. Big pine trees.
where you don't get cold weather. Melbourne as well is where
if they're Australian pines. You've solved a life mystery for me that's been bothering me for 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally for 20 plus years. So we'll take a break. We'll be back more with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin taking your phone calls after this brief timeout. You're listening to In the Garden with Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin on Ocala Talks on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. You're listening to WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pride.
The School District of Philadelphia announced it's returning to a mask mandate for all students and staff within the district, citing an increase in COVID-19 cases throughout the city. Students and staff will now be required to follow the district's mask policy, which began on Monday, according to a district-wide announcement. The leaders of the United States, Japan, Australia, and India are meeting in Tokyo for a second in-person summit of the Indo-Pacific Quad grouping. At Tuesday's meeting, leaders are discussing climate change, technology, maritime surveillance, as well as the fallout from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. It should be noted, India, which has close ties with Russia, has yet to condemn Moscow's invasion. 2 Iranian military pilots died after their F-7 fighter jet crashed on Tuesday near Anorak in the central part of the country. Iran has a poor air safety record. USA Radio News.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside a Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code USA.
One itsy bitsy speck of food out and they appear out.
Think you know Dex Imaging? Think again. In the office, streamlining communications. In the field, delivering top-notch service, enhancing productivity and reducing downtime. In the data center, a part of the growing digital document revolution. In the world of business, supporting entrepreneurs and helping companies grow. In the forefront of technology, developing cutting-edge document management solutions. So if you think you know Dex Imaging, you don't know Dex.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
2 Men in a Truck. So many people here are getting real lasting joint pain relief from QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I would recommend QC to anybody. The work that QC Kinetics did paid off exponentially.
It brought me back to an effective age of almost in my 20s and 30s.
QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologics from your own body, precision treatments that can restore and repair damaged tissue in your aching joints, with no meds, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime.
I got a very quick resolution to my pain.
It is a all-natural therapy. You're using you to fix you.
I got my life back. I got my smile back. And best of all, I got my last back.
Don't live with that pain anymore. And don't let them tell you surgery is your only option. Learn more about regenerative options from the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. 352-400-4550.
Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today.
Shamrock Security Systems, 629-3223. Shamrock Security Systems is located here in Ocala, Florida. Shamrock Security Systems is a top-rated alarm company offering 24/7 monitoring, video surveillance, fire and flood protection. You'll sleep a little better once the job is done. Shamrock Security Systems for over 31 years. 629-3223. Get a 100% free quote from Shamrock Security. 629-3223.
That's right. It's Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin bringing you advice about anything horticulture. That's a good word.
That's horticulture. Yeah, that's one of those $2 words.
That's
That's a $2 word.
Yeah.
It's not a full $3 word.
No,
good
but $2. Good $1.99.
$1.99. There you go. Hey, inflation. I want that extra pay.
Well, so do the Democrats. But don't get me started.
But,
we're talking plants.
That's true. No, but just to briefly go back to those Norfolk Island pines. Yeah, you saw the picture of it.
It is.
And it is the tree that you're thinking of. It is the tree.
I've been wondering for 25 years what it was.
And I had, in a neighborhood I used to live in, went through there. Actually, it was right in spring. And they had, I want to say maybe 2 years ago, they had put one in the ground, and it was about 8 feet tall. It had been nice and full, and it's dead.
26 degrees, got it.
It's dead. It's gone. And so that's why they, even on the tags when you buy those, they're great little plants. Use it as a house plant. If it gets too big, you can cut the top. It'll keep it a little bushier. Keep it in the house. Keep it as a house plant. It's not meant to be put out in the landscape. They get very large, and then they die. Then they get frozen.
And then they fall.
Then you've got to pay an expense to have it removed. There are much better trees for the landscape than one of those.
But you go down to South Florida, Naples.
Down in South Florida,
Fort Myers,
even Melbourne, and that. But
West Palm,
I
they're everywhere.
That they were trying. My understanding is, and I'm talking 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that they were actually trying to eradicate those in the Melbourne area because they're also a fire hazard. If they die and they're just standing there, you've got needles that are just ready to go as a torch. And
it's a Christmas tree. You all see, everybody
has seen
a Christmas tree
trees. During the dry seasons, Melbourne happens to be an area, or that's Brevard County, that gets very dry at times. They have
Rockledge, all that area.
Right, they have a lot of regular pine down there.
Southern yellow pine
just
everywhere.
just naturally growing. It's not necessarily farmed. So when you go and throw something in, again, that's another piece of tinder, and I believe that they were really trying to remove and eradicate those out of the landscape.
You see more of them on the west coast of Florida than you do the east coast.
Probably.
And that's because the east coast is much more, even though the west coast is getting very dense in
urbanized,
population.
right.
The East Coast has been very
densely
in population.
populated.
Yeah.
Right.
It
has
for a very
been
long
since
time.
Flagler brought the railroad down.
Right. Yeah.
He invited everybody to come.
Yeah.
And it came down the east
Miami
side.
was a hick town till the railroad got there.
That's it.
Remember, at one time, the biggest redneck city in America was the vacation capital of the United States, Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
When I think about that, that's my hometown. I could never see anybody wanting to vacation this godforsaken place.
In Jacksonville. Because nowadays, all you think of is it's a huge city with,
right.
And,
but it used to be where the
it
rich
was
and
beachy.
famous
it was
would
beachy.
vacation.
You had the river and the St. Johns River when it was clean.
And they would they would vacation on the beach for a week or so during the winters. And then they would take the steamship down to St. John's to the Ocala, take the steamship down the Ocala to the Silver River, get out of their carriages and come right to Ocala and vacation in Ocala.
Well, they used to stay at this like the Silver Springs area.
Oh yeah, the 1880s, 1890s, and the 1900 turn of the century. Ocala, Silver Springs, Ocala, vacation mecca.
And Homosassa also.
Yeah,
Homosassa across on the other side was as well.
Vacation meccas.
Yeah.
At one time, Ocala was a larger city than Miami.
Well, wasn't Ocala in the running to be the capital at one time?
At one time, in the 1800s.
So because we were centrally located in the state.
Yep. The reason why it's such a good commerce area now because of our central location.
Our central location and Ocala is on the way of becoming another
Orlando,
which is
they said they'll have 400,000 people here by 2030.
That's crazy.
400,000.
Yeah.
People go, yeah, but that's not Orlando. Orlando's got millions. Nope, Orlando's got 670,000.
Yeah. It's just that
it's
they
got
have the
metropolitan-
visitation.
right.
They just have
Well,
the
they do
the
have,
tourism.
when you think of Orlando, you think of Winter Park and Winter Garden.
And all of
and
that.
Apopka
That's it.
and Altamont
Exactly.
Springs.
It's all considered
Right.
Orlando. That's the same
But
way
it's not.
Jacksonville and Duval County are
Right.
one and the same.
Right, but Metro at Orlando
Is actually
is
a
all the
smaller,
place I'm talking about. The city of Orlando is only about 670,000 people. It's not that much bigger than Ocala now. It's only about twice the size of Ocala
It's
now.
just all of the and I'm sure that's part of what they're considering with us as well. Is Donnell and Bellevue,
they are.
Red, and all
the
of those
northern
other,
part of the villages. They are. They're talking about
Silver
all that.
Springs, Marion Oaks. Yeah.
Yeah, the 400,000 will be countywide, not just in the city
not
of
just
Ocala.
it's just considered.
Because if we went from 66,000 to 400,000,
it would be a
in
sardine
8 years,
can.
that'd be
It'd
ridiculous.
be a sardine can. Yeah.
I've been to a place like that. You know the city of Gainesville,
Yes.
the whole city of Gainesville, not just the
Not
but
just-
the outlying
right,
areas and all
right.
that are considered Gainesville.
Right.
That area has about 400,000 people now, and Gainesville's crowded. When you go
Yes,
to Gainesville,
it is.
it's ridiculous.
Gainesville is crowded.
It's about approximately the same size as Naples, Italy. 4 million people live in Naples, Italy. We till you go to Europe, you really don't know.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Right.
Till you go to Europe, you have no idea of ridiculous.
Yep. We just have to hope. Yeah. Let's protect what we've got right now. If you've got
So and by the way, if you have a half-acre lot or a three-quarter acre lot or an acre lot, protect it.
Yes.
Take care of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't, because nobody wants zero lot lines, quarter-acre lots.
No.
Who wants that? Where all the houses are the same, all the landscape
Well, that's
is the same.
and it's crazy because in my neighborhood is a little bit older. My house was built in the 80s.
Right.
So it's not 60s older, but it's maybe early 80s.
But still had a little bit of land.
I've got like 0.27. So I have a quarter acre, and I think that's pretty much. I might have 2 lots. But there's a few larger lots. But they're starting to build houses, and about the next block over. So not just across the street, but next block over. There's 5 houses in a row. They're all the same.
Yeah, I know.
On the other side of me, we're building a house. They built one there and like 3 more down, and they're all basically the same.
I don't want any kind of house or any kind of yard or anything where would you say, honey, will you scratch my back? And the neighbor's wife can do it.
Right. We're a little further away because it seems like we have at least quarter acre.
Right.
At least on my side.
When you drive through Lake County, though, through Ocoee and Claremont and all,
Oh.
you see some of those rolling hills that used to be
citrus.
Beautiful citrus groves.
Yes.
And you see houses where it looks like
You
the
open
roof
the
one of
doors
one
in.
is built into the other one.
Right. Yeah, you share a gutter.
And and you go by and it says, so and so development starting in the low 500s.
Yeah. Or the low, in the mid 200s. And,
I just
affordable housing starting at
so we still are in great shape here in Ocala.
Yes.
Yeah, great shape. So 622-352-622-9622 is the number to call. Carolyn, with the rainy season coming,
right,
with hurricane season coming and all, it is time because people think, oh, it's hurricane season, we got to do our trees and everything. It's not hurricane season that bothers me. It's the rainy season.
Right.
Because
it's
we
the
know in
quantity
Florida
of rain that we're going to get rain in Central Florida.
and
we're
it's going to make the ground soft.
Yes. Yes.
You got to take care of trees that may be heavy. But you also, people forget sometimes. They go, well, they're not predicting a bad hurricane season. I go,
right.
Yeah, but we could have an afternoon storm
that has some gusty winds or some downdrafts and things like that that take out. Well, just an example, the tornado that came through. What was that? 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And that was for us kind of a freak thing. It's not. We don't get tornadoes often. That they can spawn off of a hurricane that's not near us. We do get heavy rains and all the thunder and lightning and things like that we've had. A pine tree gets struck by lightning, it's dead.
Dead.
An oak tree can get struck by lightning and survive.
Not a pine tree.
But not a pine tree because of the sap, the way that sap is, that stuff just explodes inside of it, and you'll actually find it'll blow the bark right off the side of a tree. And it dies very quickly.
Yeah, because it cooks that sap inside.
It cooks that sap, just
it
gets so superheated. One time a neighbor, she didn't even realize that the tree had been struck by lightning. She thought her dog had been out dug up against the tree. Even her power was out. It blew out her TV. It hit that tree, hit the chain link fence, went around, arced to the house, and knocked out electronics. But that tree showed that it was dead within 3 days.
Remember,
all of them. Yeah.
Remember, turpentine's made from pine sap.
Right.
Turpentine's flammable.
Right. Exactly.
That's all you need to know.
Well, pitch pine we use to start a fire in your fireplace. You use a little piece of lighter pine. What's that but the pitch out of the middle? The old fence posts were all lighter pine fence posts because they wouldn't rot. They would just sit there, for generations.
We get those micro bursts. You can have a storm show up, one of the eastern and the western sea breeze,
just pop up,
bang
and
each other.
Boom.
You get a storm that's moving at 65, 70 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 60-mile-an-hour gust that can have microburst in it that will be just as powerful as a Category 1 hurricane.
Yeah. And so we do have to watch. You have to make sure that you've got good drainage in your property, that your trees are healthy, and we can do that at any time during the year. But if you had some issues that you were concerned about last year, or that we've had some rains since, it like you said, you spent $100 and got somebody to come out and take a look at some trees you were concerned with. Go ahead. It's well advised. I mean, you're unfortunately, and see, this is where I don't understand why homeowners insurance companies wouldn't help to cover the cost of preventative damage. I mean, I know when you have auto insurance, it's not to do the oil change, it's to remediate after an accident. And that's what homeowners insurance is. But to me, it would pay to, the thing on the car, that makes sense. But, we have health insurance to remediate, or not to remediate, but to prevent.
Well, health insurance is now paying for you to go to gyms.
Some
plans
plans
pay
will.
for you to
Some
get a gym
plans,
membership.
especially social, your Medicare plans
Right.
and things like that,
Because
will
they
cover
want you
to stay healthy.
They're trying to prevent you from
Right,
getting
they will help
sick.
you with smoking cessation and all kinds of different things, especially employer-based ones.
Right.
But that homeowners insurance, we're already having a skyrocketing homeowners insurance things. The best thing you're going to want to do to benefit yourself would be to try to prevent any damage to your home, because one claim and you're.
You can call tree surgeons
Mhm.
or people that are tree professionals.
Right.
They'll come out. A lot of them between $100 and $150 will come do
an assessment,
an audit
for
of
you.
your trees.
Right.
Now get a reputable and check with
Right.
check resources.
Call a couple of them,
Right.
and if some of them might even come through and just do at least a cursory if you're concerned that maybe your trees are crowded or that you want to take down one or two, they may give you a suggestion on which ones would be the best ones without even charging you on something like that, just because they.
But believe me, that $100 to $150 spent.
Was well, yeah.
Instead of
A
that
peace
water
of
oak,
mind.
that
It's a
water
peace of
oak
mind.
falling through your bedroom.
Right.
Because that water oak falls through your bedroom.
And you're there.
Thousands and thousands of dollars if you're not there.
Right.
Your life possibly if you
you're
are
not
there.
Yeah. Or through the carport of the garage, your car coming over and hitting your neighbor's home.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's it's just one of those things that you need to be aware of what is going on in your landscape.
And this time of year, with hurricane season looming, but not
yes.
just hurricane season.
Just
the
the
rainy
rainy
season
season.
in Florida is not to be played with.
No, it isn't. We get 360 inches of rain a year, and it comes in a 4-month period.
Yeah.
It's a lot of rain,
and a lot of it comes with lightning and wind.
rain, and wind, rain, lightning, and heavy rains where it puddles before it soaks in. And there are some areas within the county that have clay. And where you have clay, you have less drainage or slower drainage. So if you've ever had a puddling issue in your yard, you have an issue with drainage. Sometimes that's difficult to remediate, but it would be the kind of thing of going, you know what, you might not want to put a tree right in that area, only because its root system's going to have a hard time getting nice and deep. Again, and that's when we're irrigating things like that. We want to water deeply to encourage that root system to go down as far as it can, and that's not just your turf, but your trees and shrubs as well. A 10-minute watering doesn't do you any good. It makes surface roots.
I remember 2 years ago, right after we got locked down for the pandemic, we came out. We were 8 weeks, 9 weeks, and then the governor opened his state back up.
Right.
One of the first places that opened up for business were golf courses. Because you could be individuals in a golf cart.
Exactly.
And it was an
you
outdoor
could be
thing.
outdoors and
And I remember that rainy season that year.
People played in the rain.
No, but we got at Muni in about a 4 or 5 week period, we got almost 18 inches of rain over a 4 or 5 week period, to the point where the pond that is in front of number 5 took over the fairway of number 4 and came out of its bank
and they had
sat
to
there
pump.
for days, and they had to pump it out and everything. Because it was sitting in the fairway.
Right, and that's when you see, when you hear of golf courses being closed during the rainy season and you see the sprinkler systems going, it's because that's reclaimed, that's dispersing the overflow of storm water onto an area that can handle that water and take it down. When roads are flooding and things like that, and they're pumping that water out of that road, it's got to go somewhere.
Remember how bad 40 used to flood before they
did the monster, did the monster pipe,
Right, they did the monster pipe that drains into the golf course, and the whole golf course was redone. Part of what it was done was so that it could be a flood zone.
And what's and I forget where it's at. Reclaim Park.
Yeah.
Was a former golf course.
Right. That's on. That's Pine Oaks.
Over
off Martin Luther King.
And that one again was a golf course that got reworked to manage stormwater.
Because that area would flood so bad. It was so low.
And even with that, they've had to remediate on some of that work as well.
The subdivision we live in. If you don't notice it, because it's a subtle downhill, but we live at the bottom of the hill from the entrance to our subdivision.
Oh.
And at the bottom of the hill is also where the retention pond is.
Right, because that's where the water.
But because how they built it, the retention pond is still below us, probably a foot and a half, 2
Right,
foot.
so that
the water doesn't even stop in our yard; it runs
continues down to that, right? And folks who happen to live in these areas with the 0 lot lines, you have that little gully, and everybody goes, "Oh, I want to plant something in there, this and that." You don't want, or I want to fill that in. Don't fill that in. That means your yard will flood. You will cause problems, and actually, you're not allowed.
Oh, we have a ditch line.
Water,
our
water
ditch is 5 feet.
In the front of the
front of the house is 3 feet. On the side of the house, right by the retention pond, it's a 5-foot ditch.
Right.
From the bottom of our chain link fence to the bottom of that ditch is 5 feet.
Yeah. And that's and you don't want that is to hold stormwater. That is to take that stormwater away from your foundation, away from your home. You don't want to mess with that. It was designed. Engineers came up with that.
Right.
We as gardeners, we like to plant things, but you don't want to change that. You don't necessarily want to put something that's going to collect and catch things that might dam that up. That maybe a root system may.
Sometimes I think
that.
people forget just how powerful water can be.
Oh, it's
just water. You drink it.
It's just water. We drink it, right? We shower in it.
Right.
It doesn't hurt when we
But it'll tear your foundation apart from underneath.
Exactly. You won't see it going on until
the corner of your house falls.
Right. Or you begin to see some cracking in the house and you're on the driveway.
There was a house on the golf course where when they redid the floodplain and everything, it had a fissure in it that went down from the top all the way down to about a foot and a half above the ground. Until they come out and jacked it up and redid that house, that crack was 4, 5, 6 inches. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
Corner of the house was falling off.
Yeah. Right. It had undermined and the foundation portion. Yeah. But this is, it's something to think about when we're even planning a landscape is to watch. I mean,
by the way, can faulty irrigation systems do the same kind of damage?
Sure. If you have a break or something like that, say something has chewed through an irrigation line up near your house and you're turning your irrigation on and you're just thinking something's plugged up, it might be washing soil out underneath your mulch. You're not seeing it. It's a good, it's another one of those reasons to walk around. What was it? One day, when I first moved into where I'm at, I'm going through the yard and I'm going, why is there water over here? And I'm looking and I said, I'm far away from the house. The well's way over here. I said, oh, but I have a hose bib right there. And I went, my water line to the hose bib was busted.
Huh.
And so
went through it or
something went through it. And so guess what? My trip to Lowe's to go get repair pieces. And then about a year later, they came up with some better, easier repair stuff. So look around when you've got to fix something. You can do it yourself, but it's there are easier ways now to do it. Today they got flexible deals.
The reason I brought that whole thing up is people forget because we're so it rains.
Right.
And so we're so used to it.
And the center part of the state, we're not normally affected by the brunt of most hurricanes or tropical storms. We are by just the sea breezes. We do get a lot of times if the hurricane, we get some of the tropical storm winds if it's above us or below us or just skirts the coast. We are still, because you're 60 miles from water wherever you're at in the state, is it 60 or 70 miles from a beach, one side or another, a storm can have hurricane force winds out 120 miles.
Right.
You're within the range. But just our regular rainy season can bring microbursts and torrential rainstorms, or just our regular rain events where, every afternoon you're getting 2 inches of rain, 2 inches of rain, 2 inches of rain. That's a lot of water.
In 45 minutes.
And the ground can get saturated. Once that ground is saturated, and then you get a good wind come through, that's when trees start going over.
Sometimes you get the ground saturated, trees will fall over just because they're so big and the ground's
and
soft.
top heavy, on one side or another.
They go
and next
over.
thing you know, or that the root system, the water oaks, the root systems are beginning to rot, because sometimes you'll see those trees with a great big hollow part. The tree's still green on top, but the root system and the trunk of the tree is just gone. And
it rots from the inside out. You never know it
until it actually begins to cave in there, and actually the tree is actually trying to heal itself. Cambium layers are there, but there's no structure.
But you get a good arborist or good tree surgeon, they have ways to test to make sure the meat of your tree is in good shape
is healthy,
and everything.
right?
So.
And it gives you peace of mind, like you say, for $100 and $150, well worth the peace of mind.
Yeah, it's like the old commercial when we were kids. You can pay me now. Or you can pay me later.
Yep.
And if it's later with a tree falling through your house,
you're going to pay a lot more.
It's a whole lot more money.
A whole lot more money. And even if they tell you that you need to remove a tree, removing it prior to it hitting something means you're just removing a tree, not rebuilding half of your home.
Spending
or replacing
$1,500
your
or $2,000 to get a tree removed is still a lot better than having to replace your brand new car, having somebody hurt.
Yeah, half your house is crushed or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Carol Ann, we've eaten up the whole hour again.
We have.
Tell people where you're at on Facebook.
Facebook, we have the In the Garden Facebook group page. Pretty much asked to be a member and answer. I got one little question there. It's real simple. Where'd you hear about us?
Right.
Yeah, there you go. And then they can find me when I'm heading to work down there at Lowe's in Lady Lake.
You heading to work?
I'm heading to work. Yeah, I'm heading to work.
I'll send intern Natalie down there to buy something.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Yeah, or Susan will show.
Or Susan shows up more than anybody else. Yeah, she's down in that area. She goes and says, hey, Carol.
Hey, yep. And some of our other listeners do, and I always am glad to see them.
Carol Ann Baldwin, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. She's on every Tuesday morning from 9 to 10, taking your calls. Carol Ann, talk to you next week.
Yep.
We'll be right back at this timeout on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
The Ocala International Airport. This is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Economy and
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Pennsylvania Senate candidate David McCormick sued Monday to force the counting of mail-in ballots without a handwritten date on the outside envelope. He and candidate Dr. Mehmet Oz are still awaiting Pennsylvania election results. The handwritten date indicates the ballot was received on time. Ukrainian President Zelensky, in his nightly address Monday, the eve of the 3-month anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, noted that since February 24th, the Russian army has launched 2,275 different kinds of missiles into Ukraine, and he said the vast majority of them have hit civilian targets. Zelensky, via a translator, continues to ask the world to isolate Russia for their aggression.
Do not wait for more fatal attacks. Do not wait for Russia to use special weaponry, chemical, biological, God forbid nuclear. Do not allow for the aggressor to feel the world's opposition is not decisive enough.
USA Radio News.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? The United States Mint has issued the Morgan Silver Dollar for the first time in 100 years. Not only that, but they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 175,000 legal tender silver dollars were issued. These Morgan Silver Dollars are brand new, bright and shiny legal tender coins minted by the iconic Philadelphia Mint. Just call 1-800-888-7630 and you're guaranteed a new 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. The first time in history this has happened. But with limited quantities, you must call now to order. To learn more, call 1-800-888-7630. If you order now, you will receive a free collector bonus, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-888-7630 now to secure your new Morgan Silver Dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-888-7630.
There's still a lot of questions when it comes to carbon markets. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Farmers, produce safety inspections are here. Prepare your farm with an on-farm readiness review. The Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services and University of Florida are partnering to provide this on-site preparation service for free. Our team of produce safety experts offer individualized support to make sure your operation meets the regulatory requirements. Contact us to help prepare your farm today. Request your free visit at www.fdacs.gov/OFRR. That's www.fdacs.gov/OFRR.
Can we bring it back, Doctor?
Yes, but we have to keep it covered, Igor.
Understood, Doctor.
And be sure to keep living roots in it throughout the year with diverse plants and rotations. And remember, do not disturb it.
Are you mad, Doctor?
No, just a little upset. I don't like to see soil treated like dirt.
Learn more about the basics and benefits of soil health. Contact your local USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service office today.
The International World Economic Forum is underway this week in Switzerland. More than 2,500 people are attending, including political leaders, business heads, millionaires, and more. There's a big focus this year on agriculture-related topics. University of California, San Diego professor David Victor moderated a forum on unlocking carbon markets. He said there are still a lot of questions.
What are the strategies that we're going to be following to reduce those emissions? And in particular, what's the role of carbon markets in that? It seems like today we are living in two worlds, almost diametrically opposed worlds. One world is where you look at the markets, they're exploding in size. We've had progress at COP26 with Article 6. The prospects look very bright. There are compliance markets, voluntary markets, a lot happening. The other world is a lot of concerns about quality of those markets.
For a link to view the entire session, you can visit our website at southeastagnet.com. I'm Sabrina Halverson for the Southeast Agnet.
Longer days are a welcome sight, just like these unbeatable prices at Rural King. Get 4 gallons of Pool Shock liquid chlorinator for just $9.99 a box. Or Taste of the Wild High Prairie grain-free dog food for $49.99 a bag, in-store only. And don't miss out on assorted veggie or herb plants for just $3.99 a piece. Shop these deals and more at RuralKing.com or your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have a mix of clouds and sunshine today with a high of 88 to 92, then becoming mostly cloudy tonight, low 72 to 74. Wednesday will be partly sunny, nice day with a high of 88 to 92, then sun and high clouds Thursday morning, followed by very cloudy skies, and a high of 90 to 92. Watch for a thunderstorm in 1 or 2 spots Friday afternoon. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com.
Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
That's right. It's time for Matt Gibbs. Auto repair with personal care from Sunrise Auto. Matt, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tom.
If you want to talk to Matt, give him a call. 352-622-9622 is the number to call. 352-622-9622 is the number to call. Matt, thanks for being here today. I know you're covered up. You're busier than a one-legged man to a rear end kicking contest.
Yeah, that's about as busy as we are right there.
Yeah, well, let's take a phone call. We're going to get you busy right away.
Okay, let's do it.
Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs.
Good morning, guys. The other day I was browsing my computer. I was on the Fox News, and I trickled down to hit this ad for Echo Plus chip that is supposed to give your car better gas mileage and so on and so forth. This thing plugs into the OBD2 port, and the chips analyze the data, and from there they correct the settings on your car's engine and supposedly the transmission shift points through the engine control unit, ECU. And I'm just wondering if this is nothing more than another, port cover, dust cover, or is there anything to this? I was just curious if you I've heard about it.
All right.
Thanks for the call, Sonny.
So yeah, I've heard about it. So I've heard about it. I wonder how much it was. How much is it? Is it 3 easy payments of $29.95, or
what does it do?
So what they're saying is, it's basically a tuner. So the tuners became real popular with the diesels. So back in the day, you could spend $300, $400 on a tuner, and you can get 125 more horsepower out of a diesel, turbo diesel, which was really incredible. So this is not new technology by any stretch of the imagination. It's old technology. What they're doing is they're saying that this device, when you plug into your OBD2, so the OBD2 is where I plug in my scanner,
right?
And I can read, and I can communicate to some extent with your computer. So what this is an actual box, and it interfaces with your ECU, which is an electronic control unit for your engine side. So it's saying that, so a lot of times what they'll do is they'll lie. They'll give false data to change the way something operates. So like barometric pressures or manifold absolute pressure sensors, or they'll lie.
They'll fool the sensors.
They'll fool the computer thinking that this is the condition, and actually maybe cause it to run lean. Or like with the diesels, it'll actually create higher boost pressures and turbos, give it more fuel, and that's what gives it more horsepower. So those things are out there. They are available. But here's the deal: if you got a gasoline burning engine, you'll buy that same tuner for $300 to $500, and it may give you 8 more horsepower.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then so now you got to get a bigger throttle body, because the thing with gasoline engines, whatever you bring in, you got to get out. So you now you got to deal with more fuel, more exhaust.
And it's got to go
different
somewhere.
Timing. You got to be. It costs a whole lot more money to change. You might get a little bit better gas mileage, but for what it's going to cost, do the math. Like, for instance, like one of the things, and Sonny, and we did this with Sonny. So Sonny, we did a test with Sonny using Schaefer's oil. Just by using Schaefer's oil, he got 2 miles at a gallon better gas mileage.
Well, there you go. Good morning, you're on with Matt Gibbs.
Well, this is Sonny again. The cost of this thing is $35 per unit, but if you buy 2 or 3 units, the cost goes down to like $27 a unit. And again, usually these things are nothing more than a fancy dust cover for the ECU port on the car.
That could be.
You know, I'm just really wondering about this because, $4 or $5 a gallon, and if you can save a mile per gallon, that's, I don't know, what works out to maybe a gallon of gas less that you're burning.
Yeah.
With
Something
an
along
average
those lines.
gas tank, the size of an average gas tank. Smaller cars have smaller gas tanks.
Thanks for the call, Sonny. We got to take other calls. Other people lined up. Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs.
Hello. Hello. Yes, I got a question here about my vehicle.
Go ahead.
Okay, I got 2 teenage boys that are going to college, and I want to ask Matt, what's a good, reliable vehicle to purchase for them, whether new or used? Well,
thank you for the call.
I like the Hyundais. I like the Toyotas, the Hondas. I'm kind of struggling a little bit with some of the stuff that some of the American companies are doing right now, as far as like Dodge and Ford and General Motors. Just because of what we've been seeing in the shop, some engine issues, transmission issues, and stuff like that. It's funny how we go through these seasons. Like they'll master something and it'll be great for 2 decades.
Then they'll come up with something new, and it's
we got to start all over again, And it's like we're in this process right now of watching the American cars really master this 4-cylinder turbo issue, and they still haven't quite mastered it yet.
And they've had it mastered in foreign cars
for
a while.
For a while now. And so I think that, they started it, and we're kind of latching on.
You always hear people always say, when they say, what's a good car for my college kid or something like this gentleman asked, people say the Toyota or the Honda or the Hyundai, because it's now the Hyundai and the Kia that even if it tears up, because their warranty is so good, 10 years, 100,000 miles, and everything. But then I know friends of mine, and I'm not endorsing any one car over the other, but I have friends of mine that's had Subarus 12, 15 years.
Subaru's a great car. You just and you just don't think about Subaru. And remember the old commercial? They inexpensive and built to stay that way.
Right. Yeah.
We don't get a lot of Subarus in the shop, and so if you don't see a lot of them,
and they were the first all-wheel drive car.
Oh, when you lived up in the mountains.
Oh, they're everywhere.
Everybody up in North Carolina has a Subaru.
And everybody knows it. Subaru is you go up there, the Ford dealership is huge because of four-wheel drive trucks. Chevrolet dealership is huge because of four-wheel drive trucks. Honda, Nissan, Toyota, Volkswagen, all little bitty dealerships. Subaru dealership, bigger than even the American dealership because it's Subaru. Yeah. It's all-wheel drive. You'll go up there and you'll see. Subarus are probably 3 to 4 to 1 up there in the mountains.
Yeah,
everybody drives Subaru.
And they're very popular, and they're very popular here too. It's just we don't see a lot of them. They tend to really build a nice car.
They build a nice car. Yeah. So that maybe. Hey, there's your answer, sir. Maybe go get yourself your kids a couple Subarus.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a bad idea. I remember that somebody told me a while ago he races out at he takes his car down to Sebring. And he's got a little kit car that he races. It looks like a Mustang Cobra, but it's not. But it looks like that. He's got a kit car, and he always would, he'd run these enduro races at Sebring and everything, and these 12-hour things and these 8-hour things and everything. I go, you never replace you. I know he's a broke guy, so I'm like, you never replace your motor or anything. He's running that thing. Mazda RX-7 motor.
Little rotary motor.
Because it's got a rotary motor. A motor that the car industry made Mazda quit making.
It only has 9 moving parts.
Yeah, and it's as big as a loaf of bread. But they literally forced Mazda to quit making it because it was such a good motor that it wouldn't tear up. And then Mazda, and the way they made Mazda, they convinced the people, the bigwigs at Mazda, look, it's going to cost you money in the long run because people ain't going to have to buy Mazdas.
Yeah.
That's how it was a discussion between Ford and Mazda because Ford had a partnership with Mazda. And Ford went and said, look, you eventually have to have the vehicle eventually needs to tear up or people ain't going to have a reason to buy another one.
I've worked on a car that had a sticker under the hood. It literally had a sticker under the hood. It said, this vehicle was built to acquire 5 years or 50,000 miles, whichever would occur first.
Right. Well, the Yugo, we called the Yugo a disposable car.
It was a disposable car. It was cheaper to buy a new one than it was to put a motor in
100% it was. You drive it till it blew up, take it, throw it in the junkyard, go buy you another one.
That's right.
I mean, it literally you could buy one brand new for $2,100.
I know that's great. And to put a motor in it was like $3,000.
Yeah. So you just blow it up, and you drive it a couple years, 3 years at the most. Blow it up, go buy you another.
Drive it till it quits running.
Yeah. Literally drive it till the wheels.
We were the biggest Yugo dealer in the country, right here in Ocala.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yugos. People forget the Yugos. I had the honor of owning a Gremlin.
No, you didn't. I watched a movie the other day, and it had a Gremlin pull up in the front.
304, baby.
With a 304. That right there was a Gremlin, my friend.
304, baby.
Come on.
Gremlin would go.
Yeah, it would.
It
was uglier than...
Gremlins didn't come with 304s. I said, oh, yes, they did.
I never saw one.
Oh, yes, they
What
did.
about a Pacer?
Oh, the AMC Pacer. That was just a spaceship of glass with a motor.
It looked like a fishbowl. You should have had that thing filled up with water just your hand.
You know the funniest car I ever saw, though, and a buddy of mine's going to make a rat rod. He's looking to make one. And I asked him, you going to put a 302 in it, 289 in it, 305? What are you going to put in it? He goes, I don't know yet. I'm looking on it. I saw a guy when I was in college. He drove a vet, a Chevette, and he had literally went in and he was a mechanic guy, and he'd done and cut the firewall and everything, made the modifications. He put a Ford 289 Mustang engine in that little bit of Chevette, and then went and got a pool table, busted the slate out of the pool table to put the back end of that Chevette to keep the back end from being too squirrely when he would step into that 289. And people go, 289 wasn't that fast. There's a reason Mustang had a 289. It was a fast motor. And he put it in that little Chevette. And then he, not to be outdone, my buddy Greg Swink goes, well, if you can put that in, I bet we can cut the firewall back enough, make enough modifications. We dropped a 305 down in it.
That's crazy.
You know how dumb it is to have a 305 in a Chevette?
Well, I one of my guys, and this is no lie, one of my guys went to casketsrus.com, casketsrus.com, and he turned his casket into a car. And he drove it down the road, a casket, with a Volkswagen motor, and he had shovels for bumpers. One shovel going one way, the other shovel going the other way. That was the bumper.
Oh, dear goodness.
Yeah, and he had a one of those. Remember, like you're talking about the Cobra? Remember how the driver had that little bar?
Yeah,
well, that had a rest in peace with a vulture sitting on the top. And he drove this thing down the road, man.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question about cars like that and everything, and kit cars and stuff like that. When you get one of those kit cars, do they have to go through the same? I mean, when they put it together and all, they got to pretty much do the same thing the manufacturer has to do to get it on the road and everything, don't you?
It has to have the certain requirements to make it street legal. It doesn't have to have airbags and anti-lock brakes and those kind of things, but it does have to have.
There are certain standards.
There are certain things that it does have to have.
Braking power and stuff like that.
Yep,
you know.
Yep.
Because like you can't put a scooter on the interstate because
Right.
it doesn't have the right brake.
Right. It doesn't have that brake horsepower.
Right. The scooters will go 100 miles an hour,
Right.
which could function on the interstate because their brake horsepower, they don't
allow
they
it.
don't allow it on
Right,
the interstate.
right.
I don't know what that means, but I know.
I don't even think you're allowed to take a motorcycle under 250 cc's and take
You're
it
not.
on the interstate.
You're not.
Yeah.
It's 250 cc's or
And
higher on the
yeah.
interstate. But some of these scooters, you can get a 600 cc.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these scooters are.
They scoot.
They're torpedoes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I had a Honda Helix. It was a 250 Honda Helix when I was in college. I would routinely drive it on the back roads, take it up the back roads and hit 41 and go into Atlanta on 41 from college. It'd take me about 4.5, 5 hours on the scooter. But that scooter the scooter top end scooter top end to do 105 miles an hour.
Would you?
Yeah, back then. Yeah, I was on 225 pounds back then. Yeah, I was a little different back then.
We all used to be. We all used to be a little different, Tom.
But you could ride. I rode that scooter all over God's green earth at $1.75 to fill it up.
Yeah.
Because gas was like 87 cents a gallon.
Yeah, even today, a scooter get about 50 gallons to the mile.
50 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, 50 miles to the gallon. That's what my
Yeah.
boat get. I was thinking about my boat.
Yeah, your
It
boat gets 50 gallons to the mile. Exactly.
Yeah.
Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs.
This is Sonny again. I see where Harley Davidson is thinking of building, or they are building, a electric motorcycle.
It'll
Looks
be
the size of a regular Harley.
It'll be out in 2024.
Battery powered.
Be out in 2024.
That's
Thanks
not going
for
to
the call,
work.
Sonny.
I don't care. That's not going to work.
How you gonna make those? How you gonna put the glass pipes on there?
You
to make
can't.
it sound like a
That's
Harley?
what I'm saying. It's not going to work.
By the way, a lot of people don't know this. The glass pipes that go on a Harley that make the Harley, the good gut, deep gut Harley noise, not how they come from the factory. They come from the factory as a quiet bike. You have to put that muffler system on
but
there.
what really gives the Harley, this is what really gives the Harley its unique sound. It's two cylinders.
Right.
They both fire and they exhaust at the same time.
Right.
That's what
It's
makes
in
it
stereo.
different. And so you can't. I mean, they're going to have to. It has to come with a speaker.
Well, they're gonna have speakers.
A speaker and some noise because,
Exactly.
dude. I'd like to see the first Harley guy that rides up on one of these electric bikes. It's not going to be good for him.
I prefer the non-loud Harley because I don't like loud noises because I'm loud. I don't need anybody or anything louder than me. So but You know, and I have a friend of mine that's in a law enforcement motorcycle club here in town that he doesn't have the mufflers to make his bike loud. He actually keeps it the way Harley did it from the factory. And he faces some ridicule for that.
Yeah. 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 And wait till he comes up and he's not making no sound?
Yeah, well, and that's what electric. If you've ever stood next to a Tesla,
yeah,
you have no idea it's on. You have no clue it's on.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make a noise.
You know, it's so quiet that they put foam inside the tires so you don't hear the tire noise.
Right, so you don't hear the tire noise. Exactly.
That's how quiet they are.
Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, you.
Harley with the electric motorcycle, I'll tell you right now, sell your Harley stocks immediately.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, that's like watching fireworks on television.
It's exactly like watching fireworks on television.
That's right.
People go, oh, did you see that fireworks for New Year's on TV? No, because I don't watch fireworks on TV. Hugh, we know no self-respect in Wisconsin, especially a Milwaukeean, is going to let Harley do that very long.
Oh, I tell you, I got plenty of family and friends that have Harleys up there, and they just think it's the worst thing in the world is having an electric motorcycle. It's just sour grapes to them, you know.
Yeah.
It's sour grapes to me, and I don't even ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, me too. My wife won't let me even look at a motorcycle, more or less get on one.
Well, I would die on a motorcycle.
Well, that's...
I mean, half the thing of owning a Harley is the sound, right?
That's it. That's the only reason I have one.
I'd say that's 3/4 of the reason.
I just put it out my front yard, start it up.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I got a Harley. Here, listen to it.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for the call, Hugh. I mean, you know, part of the Red Rambler, and that was the name of the 54 Chevrolet that my dad and Earl Glisson turned into a race car that they would take to the Jacksonville Raceway and everything. It's the Red Rambler. And part of the reason the Red Rambler never won, it always run perennial 8th, 9th run or everything, you know. But the reason the Red Rambler was so good is it was straight headers. And so it sounded good. My dad and Earl drove it. Neither one of them could drive. You know, they couldn't race. But that car, it was candy apple red, had a great paint job because Earl owned coincidentally, his name was Earl Glisson, but he owned an Earl Scheib paint place.
Oh, okay.
Right. So they always kept the new paint job on it and everything on this 54. And my dad was a mechanic. The engine ran good. It sounded great. They just had no skills to drive the damn thing.
Yep.
But we'd go to the racetrack as a kid. Here comes the Red Rambler. It was the best looking car on the track. And I think that was part of it, too. Earl and Daddy didn't want anybody to bump their car or anything, so they'd run half a lap behind everybody just to keep the car in good shape.
Yep.
And they'd go, and back then, you know, back then it was in the 70s. You'd pay $15 to get in a race. It wasn't like now. What do you pay now? You pay $100 to get in a race,
it's crazy.
$150, $200, $300 or something. Back then, you pay $15. Pit pass was $5.
Yeah.
It was more about going. For me, it was more about hearing the motors and eating funnel cake. That was pretty much that was why I was there. So, but it's crazy the things that, you know, the electric truck. You know that we talked about this last week. The electric truck, Ford's touting this F-150, completely electric.
Well, Ford's coming out with a whole line.
Yeah, but
Mustangs,
Ford,
E-trucks.
That E-truck, why did I see a boat being pulled by that E-truck? Why did I see you with a little 5x12 trailer with some lumber on it being pulled by? Oh, wait, because that E-truck would go dead quick.
Yeah.
It's got the power to run down the road, but it doesn't. I've talked to people that are selling it, salesmen that have been coached up on to sell it and all. They tell us what's the tow package on this? Well, if you're looking for a tow package, we can show you the gas-powered Ford.
Right. Well, they on that commercial, it even shows a storm coming in and the F-150's powering up their house.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
But if it powers up your house, what happens when the battery of that F-150 goes dead because it's completely electric?
Then you ain't got no lights and you can't go nowhere to get nothing.
Just saying. So I still think hybrid's going to be the way everything goes. Or the way you go with your with the Tahoe. It's not Tahoe, is it?
Well, there was a Tahoe. It was a hybrid Tahoe.
Yeah, but you have the vehicle now that's got the 4-cylinder, the 8-cylinder.
Oh yeah. I got AFM in my vehicle.
That's AFM or hybrids are where everything's going to have to go. Because you're never going to get rid of gasoline completely, but we got to do something to make $5 a gallon stretch.
Well, my wife drives an Escalade, and it gets like
6 gallons to the mile.
Yeah. It probably gets about 11, maybe if she's really nice to it.
And is it the one with the auxiliary tank or just the one tank?
No, just
Escalade?
one tank.
Yeah.
So my Tahoe, I got AFM. I get 21 miles a gallon in that thing, and that's a full size Tahoe. It's a full size. I pull my boat with it. I pull the camper.
The only
with
difference
it.
between the Tahoe and the Escalade are emblems.
That's it. And the motor.
Right.
Because all the Escalades use the big motor.
Right.
I don't need the big motor.
And they drink it.
And they like gas.
And they drink it.
And they like it.
Yeah. And because the Tahoe, when you get the brand new Tahoe, everybody goes, Cadillac drives so much better. Not now.
Nah, it's the same car.
Not now. The suspension and all
it's the same
is exactly the same.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's gas prices don't look like they're going anywhere. It's going down. They went down last week for a little bit, but now they've rocketed right back up. The national average, $4.53 a gallon. Florida's average, $4.59 a gallon.
Why? Because they don't like our governor?
Because there's a war going on in Ukraine.
There was a war going on before Ukraine, and that's what the whole thing is. People, the gas is because of the war. The gas was going way up before the war ever even was a thought.
Don't preaching to the choir here. Convince her. She's the one that thinks it's Ukraine's fault, not me. The intern. She thinks it's Ukraine's fault. Hey, Matt, where can people find you?
You can find me at 1800 Northwest 10th Street, right here in Ocala on Highway 27 by Howard Middle School. Or you can give me a call. You can give me a call at 352-690-1993.
And, get there early because he's busy.
That's it.
Matt, talk to you next week.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back. More on Ocala Talks. You listen to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA. The Source.
Ocala International Airport. This is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
There.
USA Radio News with Lance Pride.
Pennsylvania Senate candidate David McCormick sued Monday to force accounting of mail-in ballots without a handwritten date on the outside envelope. He and candidate Dr. Mehmet Oz are still awaiting Pennsylvania election results. The handwritten date indicates the ballot was received on time. Ukrainian President Zelensky, in his nightly address Monday, the eve of the 3-month anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, noted that since February 24th, the Russian army has launched 2,275 different kinds of missiles into Ukraine, and he said the vast majority of them have hit civilian targets. Zelensky, via a translator, continues to ask the world to isolate Russia for their aggression.
Do not wait for more fatal attacks. Do not wait for Russia to use special weaponry, chemical, biological, God forbid nuclear. Do not allow for the aggressor to feel the world's opposition is not decisive enough.
USA Radio News.
Are you ready to retire? Inflation is picking up, the markets are volatile, and the dream of a comfortable retirement is harder to attain than ever before. The stock market goes up and down is beyond your control. But you're at a point in your life where you can't afford to make big financial mistakes. I'm Al Labaroa, founder of Knight Strategic Wealth. Our investment strategy allows you to go up with the stock market, lock in your gains, and when the stock market goes down, your investment won't lose a dime. This works for your investments, savings at a brokerage firm, or even money at a bank. It's simple, it's safe, and that's why savvy investors work with us. Want to learn more? Text FREE to 833-898-0500, and we'll send our retirement readiness kit directly to your phone right now. If you want to help build a retirement portfolio that will go up with the market and literally never lose money, get our retirement readiness kit today and see how this strategy can help secure your future. Text FREE to 833-898-0500. Text FREE to 833-898-0500.
And for her daughter's wedding, the morning of the big day, she got
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
You don't get to be the league's all-time leading rusher without feeling some pain.
Pro football legend Emmitt Smith knows joint pain, and he also knows the old treatments aren't the only treatments. Today, there's a natural alternative to drugs and surgery. It's biologic therapies from QC Kinetics.
I'm talking regenerative solutions that encourage your body to heal and repair itself.
Do you have pain in your hips, knees, shoulder, lower back? Want to get your life back? The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics can help.
Call to learn more about this exciting natural way to deal with chronic joint pain.
Don't put it off. Call QC Kinetics. Restorative, regenerative solutions with no downtime and lasting results.
Don't let your joint pain keep you from doing the things you love. There's a new natural solution that patients are raving about.
QC Kinetics.
Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics, 400-4550.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Nirvana, Ocala's premier medical spa, is leading the way in great skin with all the newest in treatment options, offering prejuvenation for younger clients and rejuvenation for all ages. Nirvana knows you want to look your very best. We want you to look like you, just better, brighter and younger, with all the newest and best in technology and all in the most beautiful surroundings. Like Nirvana Medical Spa on Facebook and find them on the web at nirvanamedicalspa.com. Become a better, brighter and younger you.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917. The Golden Spoon Diner and Seafood New York Style Diner. Our breakfast special of 2 eggs, hash browns, or home fries, toast and coffee included, just $4.49, 7 to 9 a.m. Try our all-you-can-eat fried catfish dinner. We also have mahi-mahi and grouper, all with 2 sides. Our prime rib dinner is available Thursday through Sunday after 4 p.m. Wow, how about our wings? 10 for $12.99. Say you heard this on WOCA and receive 10% off. Dine in and carry out. The Golden Spoon Diner, located in the Heathbrook Plaza. Call 352-300-3999. Arnett House is giving away $10,000 on May 31st. Get your ticket and more information at arnetthouse.org. Do not have to be present to win.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA, 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talk. On a Tuesday, a helicopter just buzzed the tower and landed right out here. We get to see some cool stuff sitting here, intern Natalie.
Yes, we do.
We really get to see some cool stuff.
Yeah.
What was it? One day we sat here, and how long did we watch touch and goes from a Coast Guard cargo plane?
Yeah, it was pretty much 3 hours.
Yeah. He just all morning. He just
Yeah.
touch and go, touch and go, touch and go.
It's pretty cool.
We are at the international airport, the Ocala International Airport, so it's cool the stuff we get to see here.
Mhm.
Although if these bushes keep growing,
We're having a bush issue.
we're not going to get to see them very much longer.
No.
These shit. So, we had one of the school board members, Allison Campbell, on yesterday morning, talking about the real issue of schools and the lack of schools for the population that is said that's going to move to the southwest part of the county over the next 5-6 years, out the 200 corridor, out that way, where they think there'll be an influx of about 5,000 plus students over the next 5-6 years, and the schools are already at capacity out there.
Right.
And so it brought up the discussion about how Ocala the growth was getting to such where it would tell people that came here for the small town feel might not enjoy it anymore.
Yeah.
So I suggested that everybody start moving out to Denellen.
No, don't do that. We got. It's funny you mention that because I bought a new house out there. It was a new build, and just recently, and down the street from me, there's 3 more that were just built, and they all look exactly the same. We were having this conversation earlier, and now somebody was out surveying the lot right next to me, between me and my neighbor, and apparently they own. It's a international contractors or something, and they own apparently a couple more lots right across the street. So pretty soon, the place I moved to that was supposed to be, out in the middle
Secluded
of nowhere,
is not going to be secluded.
It's not. I'm going to have neighbors on all sides.
And here's what's happening. And I saw this report in the news over the weekend, and it piggybacked on a story that 60 Minutes talked about 3 weeks ago. And it's that there are large national investment groups that buy up homes in subdivisions. Or there's a subdivision that's going into the Claremont area. It's a brand new build subdivision. The 174 units in that subdivision are all owned by an investment group.
Yeah.
And they're not selling them.
Well, what are they doing with them?
They're leasing all of them.
Oh no. I don't like that.
And it's happening a lot where big investment groups are getting together and buying houses because they can come to the table with an all-cash offer because the investment group. So, and you're in real estate, so you will understand this when I tell you this story. You'll understand this completely. There are real estate groups out there that are going with these investment groups to do this because say there's in this housing market where the supply is in short supply, demand is high. So it's not uncommon for you to get 3 or 4 or 5 offers that are substantially above the asking price.
Right. Yep.
Well, so say you got a $300,000 home. That's what you're selling it for, $300,000. And you put it on the market within a week, you get 5 offers at $325,000 to $350,000. Okay? That's pretty good if you're a real estate, if you're the owner that you think, wow, but they're all mortgaged offers. Then this investment company comes in and goes, I can give you $290,000 cash. We can close in 7 days.
Well, see, here's the thing, though, is that most people think, okay, cash is better. Well, it doesn't really matter. The mortgage is the other person's, the buyer's problem. The seller still gets.
The issue is with the mortgage and everything, it's the buyer who has to get it in line and everything. So the closing could take 30 days. It could take 60 days. Take 90. If I got $290,000 cash, I can give it to you in 7 days. We can close, get everything done.
Yeah, if you're doing it without any inspections or any of that kind of thing,
And
that's
they don't
what
worry,
takes so
and
long.
they don't worry about that.
Right.
Because they have their own maintenance companies and everything that come in. So they're coming in, they go, what, you want $300,000? We'll give you $275 cash right now. We'll close by the end of the week. Now, are you going to take the $350,000 or $340,000, but you got to wait 60, 80, 90 days? Or are you going to take $275,000 and you can close in the next 5 days? People go, well, I'll wait for the $350,000. Would you really when you look at $275,000 cash? I know you would, because you understand how it works.
Right.
But the average person to go, you mean you give me $275,000 cash by the end of the week?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. That's how these investment groups are cornering the market for the most part, and that's why you see a housing shortage. There's one company, I forget the name of the company. If we looked it up, it's a big national company, Red. It's got a red marking and everything, but they do real estate nationwide. And
Red.
I forget the name of the company, but go see the 60 Minutes art program on this, and it literally owns over 24,000 units nationwide that it leases in single-family home neighborhoods.
No, they're getting, especially right now, they're getting a lot of money for them.
They're getting a ton of money, and the return on investment, because and a lot of people are wanting, instead of buying, a lot of people are wanting to lease. And you've heard the argument for both sides: home ownership versus leasing.
Well,
there's one guy that says, why would I buy a home where I got to take care of? There's an investor, a Wall Street guy that says, why would I've never owned a home in my life. For 40 years, he said never owned a home, because he takes the money he would pay to get his water heater fixed and all those kind of things. He invests it, makes more money off of it that way. He goes, the home I live in, he said, I live in a $2 million mansion. But if something goes wrong in that $2 million mansion, I don't have to pay for it. He says, I'm paying for what I pay for. I pay about 30% more than I would for a mortgage for that home. But if something tears up in that home, they come fix it. I don't have to deal with it. I get to go to the golf course and play golf while they're at the house fixing it. And that's what these big conglomerates are doing. They have these single-family homes in all these different subdivisions. And if you got a problem, you call their maintenance company. The maintenance company comes out within 24, 48 hours, fixes everything. By the way, when you lease these homes, grass care is taken into the account of the lease and everything. It's literally
maybe.
In a lot of these, according to the news thing they had done, this one company, and I can't, starts with an R, I think, but I can't remember.
Remax?
No, it's not Remax. It's not one of the big name companies you would think of. It's relatively new to the real estate market, but they buy these homes and then just lease them. And they have.
Are they the ones that are saying like that will give you a guaranteed offer?
Yeah, they're buying. They're the ones that are giving you a guarantee.
Mark Spain. Is it Mark Spain?
He's part of one of the groups.
Right.
They keyed in on him. But that is also helping lead to create the shortage of houses.
Well, because
as soon as one comes on the market, they make a cash offer on it, and a lot of people are taking the cash and running.
Well, it's good for the companies that are leasing them. They're making a lot of money. My thing between renting or buying currently, though, is that rent keeps going up.
Yeah.
Your mortgage doesn't go up.
No.
Once you sign that document and it's a fixed rate, as long as you're not getting an adjustable rate mortgage. But if you're getting a fixed rate mortgage, conventional mortgage, then you always know what that payment is going to be. It can't go up.
Well, they also say here's what else leads into it. Is the millennials and younger people aren't wanting, because jobs are changing and they're reinventing and they move and everything. They're not wanting to stay and buy a place that they stay 30 years or 20 years.
Sure, but you don't have equity either.
They don't care about that.
Yeah, I am.
They did it. They had like 30 millennials in a room asking, how many of y'all would rather own a house than rent? And nobody raised their hand.
It's because they don't want to take care of it.
That's what they said. They said, we don't want to have to deal with the maintenance. We don't want to have to deal with the responsibility of that we have to do it. We do everything we do. We take our cars into the shop to get them fixed and everything. Why should our house be the same way? That's how they look. That's how they look at it, and they don't see it as an investment. They don't see it as something they own. They see it as a boondoggle if they own.
Yeah.
And so that's why these people are flourishing, and that's why the powers that be say that that's going to be the next big problem with the housing market is these companies are going to continue to buy up and now they've literally started buying up entire subdivisions that aren't built yet.
Yeah, I mean, and that's going to be a problem for people that, want to actually buy a house and have equity and all that. Because
Mark Spain said, look, the American dream is no longer to own a home. It's to rent a home nicer than you could own. And I thought, what?
But your rent is so much higher than what your mortgage would be. I mean, maybe not right now because interest rates have gone up and it's harder for people to be able to qualify for mortgages. That's another issue. But, again, like you can get a house and pay, let's say, $600 for a mortgage, where that same house, if you're renting it, it's going to be.
Yeah, but right now you get a $300,000 home, which is the average price in the country right now. The average median price for a home is $295,900 countrywide.
Okay.
$295,900. The mortgage on that's $1,300 to $1,400 a month.
That doesn't seem right. I have a $250,000 house I bought it for, and I pay $5 something.
What do you mortgage it for the next 65 years?
No, it's a 30-year, conventional mortgage.
Well, you.
I got it right before the rates went up.
Right,
there too.
And you put 20% down.
Oh yeah.
Right. Most people put 3.5% down.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's a problem
See,
too.
That's what I'm saying. You did it the way mortgages used to be done. Very seldom do people do conventional mortgages anymore.
I mean, they're still
But
pretty popular, but yeah,
they're not near the FHA mortgage and all where you put
a lot of
3.5
people
down.
try to.
Yeah, right.
But a lot of sellers, especially in this thing, don't want to see an FHA.
I know.
Even though they should want to see it.
Right.
Because they're still great mortgages, but for some reason there's a stigma attached to all that.
Well, those loans, the USDA loans and everything, I know. So, but that's where the majority of people are using those. They're not putting 20% down.
Right.
When you put 20% down, you've already knocked out a fifth of the cost of the house.
And a lot of people can't afford to put 20% down anymore.
So that is the issue, and these big companies are buying. I mean, when I saw it over the weekend, it bought an entire subdivision before it was even built, and it's going to be just to lease to people.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. We got to take a break. We'll come back, wrap up this version of Ocala Talks. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA. The Source.
People here are getting real lasting joint pain relief from QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics has changed my life.
I would recommend QC to anybody. The work that QC Kinetics did paid off exponentially.
It brought me back to an effective age of almost in my 20s and 30s.
QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologics from your own body, precision treatments that can restore and repair damaged tissue in your aching joints, with no meds, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime.
I got a very quick resolution to my pain.
It is a all-natural therapy. You're using you to fix you.
I got my life back. I got my smile back. And best of all, I got my laugh back.
Don't live with that pain anymore. And don't let them tell you surgery is your only option. Learn more about regenerative options from the local medical professionals at QC